In today's video, we're going to be reviewing a recent client purchase. This deal was made off market, which means it wasn't shown on realestate.com, wasn't shown on Domain, didn't go out there to many buyers. It came through our agent network here locally in the Greater Brisbane market. My name's Luke. I talk all things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom here on the channel. And I run a buyer's agency called Purpose Property. And we specialize in buying properties roughly on that 35-kilometer ring here around Brisbane. So if you're looking for a buyer's agent to help you secure your own home or an investment property, head over to purposeproperty.com.au. Now let's dive into this recent client purchase because my client was able to secure an off-market deal sub $700,000 on a 990 square meter block with some great future potential in building out his property portfolio. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll be revealing the address of this property so you can look it up yourself out of your own interest. Let's get into it. So on screen here, you can see the front of this home. Now my client had signed up with us to buy a property, ideally under $700,000 for his first home purchase. His plan was to rent out some rooms to some mates to reduce his mortgage costs and look to build a property portfolio over time. Now for Josh's buying brief, we're looking to buy a property on over 700 square meters on the south side of Brisbane, roughly around 25 kilometers from the CBD. He wanted to be able to get into the city in a reasonable time, buy a good quality parcel of land, and have the future value add potential by being able to add a granny flat or look at doing a subdivision. So as you can see from this home here, it's very well presented. It's a brick home, tiled roof, driveway down the right-hand side, and a large double garage on the right. It also has drive-through access, that garage, which is amazing, and this is a really large block at over 990 square meters. It's also located in a cul-de-sac, which is great because it's a nice quiet street. You can see here that this is quite a modern kitchen. It's got nice bench tops, a range hood, modern oven and cooktop, white, which is great when you're buying a property. White appeals to a lot of buyers, and it's nice floors and good lighting throughout. So there's no work that needed to be done here in the initial instance. Another great, lifestyle shot of the kitchen here with a bit of staging. You can see it presents very well. This is a shot back towards the dining room. It's not the largest space, which is why they staged it with that circular table. Now, these photos were from an old listing. Because this property was bought off market, what you're seeing on screen today is old listing photos of the property, and there weren't actually photos taken and released online because we were able to secure the property off market before it went onto realestate.com or Domain. This is a shot of the living room here. You can see great space, aircon, fan, room for a TV, couches. It's really well set up here. Not the smallest of living spaces, which you can see in some of these 3-bedroom homes. It's important that you don't get too smaller dining and kitchen and living spaces because a lot of these older 3-bedroom homes can have quite pokey floor plans. So it's important to find a floor plan that's suitable and that works. This is the master bedroom. Great big space. Window, fan, nice and neat. What more do you need? Shows a little study nook here and another lifestyle photo. This is a shot of one of the bedrooms. You can see here, again, good quality bedroom, basic floors, basic paint, ceiling fan above. Now the bathroom is a little bit older. It is a 90s style bathroom with the square white tiles on the wall, but it doesn't age too poorly because it is nice and neat and it's white. White tends to hold in terms of its value, and it's one of those great things that when you're looking at a bathroom like this, it's got a nice neat shower, it's got a nice white tub. Yeah, the floor tiles are cream. Yeah, the wall paint is cream and it's not 2020s, but that's okay. Josh is buying this property as a stepping stone. He's going to be here several years, build up some equity, build up his next deposit and look to buy another investment. And that's why it's a great fit for him. It doesn't need any work up front. This is a shot of the back patio. So you can see here, roof line, great space for a barbecue. They even had a spa down the left-hand side originally. That's no longer there. And some good outdoor space here. This is a shot looking back towards the house. So you can see a big shed on the left-hand side, which has 2 car spaces and a little storage room or a little office. You've got a shot of the house, which is nice and flat in terms of the block, and a really large space here. This looks back towards another shed as well, which Josh may turn into a home office by, insulating, adding some flooring and a window maybe. Otherwise, the yard is really large in the back here. You can't really tell because of this photo, but it goes a little bit further than this photo shows you. It's a nice big space, and a great thing about that means Josh can add a granny flat in 3, 5, 10 years time and boost the rent on this property. He'd be able to fit a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom granny flat, and that granny flat would be around 65 to 70 square meters in terms of its floor plan, and decks aren't included in that floor plan size. So because the garage has drive-through access, he could give the garage to the granny flat. He could then use the front and put a little carport off to the side and have the house rented out separately, fenced away from the granny flat, which could be rented out on another lease. That would bring the rent from around $550 to around $1,000 a week. So you'd probably get around $550 for the front home, around $400 to $450 for the back home, generating around $1,000 per week down the track for his passive income and building out his property portfolio. And this is a couple of aerial shots of the property. You can actually see off to the right, there is a train line that runs down the side here, but the home's set back in the cul-de-sac, about 3 to 4 houses deep in the street. And then there's also a nature strip and then the train line from there. So there is going to be a little bit of train noise, which we were aware of, but not too much and nothing that's going to cause an issue longer term. After discussing it, we were happy to accept that given this property's land size and given its potential. This is a great closing shot from an aerial point of view, showing the house, the back patio, the 2 sheds, and there's even a cubby house over in the corner, and that great pad of land or great space out in the backyard where you could put a granny flat. A really large block at 990 square meters, a great price point under the $700K mark, and ways for Josh to boost the rent in the short term by renting out some rooms and boost the cash flow in the long term by adding a granny flat. So, time for the drum roll. Let's reveal to you the location and address of this property, which I'm more than happy to do. I like sharing a property each month or 2 to give people a realistic view of what we're buying on the ground. Of course, running Purpose Property in our buyers agency here in Southeast Queensland, we can't share all of our deals and we don't want to share where we're buying in real time, but I'm more than keen to break down deals with you guys here on YouTube to give you a realistic view of what you can afford, how we can secure these off-market deals in this example, and what type of things we're looking for in terms of an investment grade property for this client's specific buying brief. Now, this property is located at 6 Fine Street in Hillcrest, 3-bed, 1-bath, 2-car. And the land size on this home is 992 square meters. So at Purpose Property, we like to look at your own situation. When we sit down with our clients, we do a buying brief session up front, where we sit down for an hour and go through 5 key areas. We look at the price of the property, the client strategy. We recommend 6 to 10 suburbs based on the quantitative and based on the qualitative data. We then make property specific criteria. So we look at bedrooms, bathrooms, land size, value add potential through renovations or granny flats or subdivisions. And then finally, number 5, we touch on red flags. So things you want to avoid. And for Josh, we did exactly that. We sat down and confirmed his price was a max of $700K. We're looking for a property that had capital growth potential and future development potential in terms of a granny flat or value add. We then also narrowed down on 6 to 10 suburbs that met his criteria based on our quantitative and qualitative data. We then went through the property specifics and at minimum wanted a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. And finally, we ruled out some criteria like noise profiles, main roads, thoroughfares. We looked at flood maps. All those things need to be considered when making a property purchase. Now, on the open market, this property could have fetched in the low to mid 700s. Given where the market's moving in Southeast Queensland and the interest that we're seeing on the ground, we think we were able to secure a great price for Josh at sub 700K for this large land size and solid home in Hillcrest on the south side of Brisbane. So I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think of this property? And are you out there looking for an investment property or your own home at this point in time? If you are and you're looking to buy a property here in Greater Brisbane, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a free strategy session with myself. If you want to see more recent client purchase videos, then click this playlist over here. Otherwise, thanks for sticking around and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.